Corro Energy, formerly Saffron Energy, was admitted to the London AIM market in April this year following the completed acquisition of Sound Energy's Italian assets. It's just announced the agreement for its first acquisition in Indonesia in the Lengo gas field offshore East Java. This is a deal that CEO James Menzies says is an ideal opportunity to progress the company's Southeast Asian growth strategy. Well, James joins us now with some more. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
An opportunity to talk about this growth strategy you propose in this part of the world. This is a good way of doing it. Explain a bit more about what you've chosen to do with this purchase.
Yeah, this is a big step for Corro Energy. It takes us from Italy into Southeast Asia, and as you know, we've been talking about the macroeconomic backdrop in Southeast Asia as being very attractive for exploration and production, particularly in the gas sector. So we've been looking for deals to get us into the upstream gas position in Indonesia for the last few months. And I thought we really like this deal for a number of reasons. First of all, it's physically transformational for Corro. So we're adding about 152 BCF net to ourselves. Before this deal, we were around 32 BCF, so we're seeing a big expansion physically in our resource base. The cash generation potential from this field will run at about $30 to $35 million of EBITDA net to Corro, where we're looking at about 4 at the moment. So we're seeing quite a big jump in terms of its cash generation capability. And of course, the production potential is very large compared to where we are right now. It's a good size material acquisition for Corro. Plus, we don't use too much of our cash resources to get hold of this. So we're paying $8 million in cash to AWE, who's the seller. But we're also doing a deal with HyOil. It's a 3-way deal we're doing here, where we're using our shares. So we $4 million in terms of Corro shares to pay for HyOil. So it's a $12 million outlay for which we're getting 152 BCF. So we're buying this at around 70 cents an MCF, sorry, or about 10 cents per MMBTU, which is extremely good value.
And of course, the other thing I think is, having read through your CV, it takes you back to a geographical location with which you're very familiar.
Yes, I've got a lot of experience of building portfolios of oil and gas assets in Indonesia, developing fields, drilling exploration wells, and of course monetizing them, which is important as well. But certainly developing fields like this we've done before, so we're well equipped to bite this sort of thing off.
Developing is an interesting word because that's what you're going to be doing here, aren't you? You're going to be ramping this up, aren't you? And you're talking about cash generation. The figures you've just given us, repeat them. 30 to 40
Yes,
million.
the cash generation potential. So this field will produce around 70 million standard cubic feet a day on plateau once it's on stream. We will have 42.5% of that field. So you know that's the net cash generation pre-tax to Corro. What we want to do in Indonesia is build a portfolio of assets. So this is a development project which will be flowing gas and on stream probably around the end of 2020, 2021. We want to complement that with some exploration, some near-term exploration in the same basin, so East Java, which is a good address for independent E&P companies like Corro. We'd also like to balance it with some production. So we are looking for complementary assets to fit with this as well. We're not stopping at this one particular asset. In addition to that, we're also looking over the border in Malaysia, where there is a licensing round ongoing right now. We'd like to participate in that, and we're talking to the Malaysians about picking up acreage over there, and that is a really exciting address. If we can get a foothold into Malaysia, I'll be delighted.
Yeah, how quickly do you think it'll take you to get up to full capacity at this location?
At Lengo, well, I think it'll be on stream 2021. By the end of the year, I think we'll be up at plateau, so it won't take long. The key milestone that we look at between now and then is the gas sales agreement. So the next bit of big news on moving this asset forward would be signing a gas sales agreement for the gas that it will produce. The offtake, exactly. Yeah. As things stand, the operator of the development has an MOU signed already with the gas buyer, but the gas will go into East Java, where it's quite a busy industrial hub. There are a number of buyers for gas in that area. There's petrochemical plants. There's a refinery to be built next to where the gas is coming ashore. That's being built by Pertamina and Rosneft. They're looking for gas. There's power generation, which is obviously the key thing as to why we like this area for gas is power gen. You know, the GDP growth rates you see in Indonesia and these countries in Southeast Asia are very, very strong. You know, we're looking at 5.5 to 6.5 to 7% GDP growth rate. Here in the West, you know, we're talking about 1.5 to 2 at best. And of course, they're big populations, they're growing economies, they need power. And that's going to be sourced from coal and from gas increasingly. So we see a very strong market. And in fact, East Java is undersupplied and there's too much demand. So upward pressure on gas price, if anything.
You talked a lot about how good a deal this is in terms of the outlay and the potential. The money is coming from where?
We have it. We raised £40 million when we did this deal with the combination with Saffron and Sound, earmarked for Southeast Asian expansion. So, you know, we have cash in the bank. In fact, we have more cash in the bank than we're using for this deal. And we're using some of our stock too. So we're fully financed to get this deal done. We're not looking to raise financing at all for this. And in fact, next steps, you know, we'd hope to be doing some exploration. Perhaps we could use some equity for that. And I think building out into Malaysia, you know, you're looking at perhaps next year for blocks being awarded there. So it's a little way off, but we're working hard on building the portfolio up.
Just want to bring up the share price, 3.6 pence. This is the London-listed share price of Coro Energy. What's priced in here? You've got your Italian assets are paying back already, aren't they? I mean, they're producing money.
They do, and they provide us a stable platform, and it's an operating calling card, if you like, that we use in Asia quite a lot. It looks after itself. It's not big production. It's a relatively small business, but it definitely washes its face and a little bit better than that. But really pushing along Italy in the same way that we can do in Southeast Asia is very, very difficult. It's very challenging. Things don't move very fast in Italy. It's quite slow. It's quite laborious. Once you get it going, it's great. I mean, you know, the terms are good, the gas price is good once you're up and running. But actually building a business is a very, very challenging proposition.
So when Lengo is up and running, how much bigger may that be than the Italian assets?
You know, we're talking about many, many multiples of size, you know, 600% larger physically and financially than our Italian position, just from that one transaction. This, we hope, is the first of a series of transactions to build the portfolio up. So, you know, I think now we have the platform and we can see we have visibility on the scale that we're looking for, which really we couldn't do with Italy. So this is a first step of many, and I think we can get to that mid-cap scale through these kinds of deals. They're not all going to be development deals, but there are deals to be done. Where in Italy we just don't see that at all. And I think there's a real industrial need in Southeast Asia for companies like Coro who can come in with some capital, develop these kind of projects, commercialize the gas, develop the oil, explore for more. The countries need the energy resources, and they're happy you're there doing it. You know, you get support from the regulator to try and push this forward.
At the same time, you're looking for more deals like this, as they potentially could come through.
You know, we see this as a very, very strongly value accretive, this deal. So as you'll see on our website, you know, we see the value of this asset is anywhere between 7p a share to us to over 11p a share. You know, you're talking about our share price pre-deal at 3.6. So this is a big step forward in terms of value accretion. The reason for that is there's been so many deals in the area not done because it's been capital starved. So we have an opportunity now to come in, a little bit of capital, unlock some of these stalled deals, and realise that value not only for our own shareholders, which is fantastic, but also for the country to get projects moving.
Okay, look, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks indeed for your time this morning, and good news in the deal for Coro Energy. That's James Menzies. He's the Chief Executive of Coro Energy.